Thank you, Jan Leke. Thank you, the organizers, Jan Raina, and other dignitaries present here for giving me this opportunity. Well, it's a very important subject which we are wanting to sort of talk about. We did speak in the session one on the problems, what we are facing today. We also touched upon where we want to go. I want to open up the discussion now on something which is much ahead of where India is today. Now, before I get on to the concept per se of Sudarshan Chakra and open it for the audience, I just want to touch upon a few very important aspects, and I'll be actually ingressing into an area which is, I would say, more of geopolitics, not for a tech guy to talk of, but it's very relevant. That's why I thought I'll talk of these slides. So, well, I'll move out. Now I'm referring to some very important aspect here, and this is regarding intent and expression. Now, all those who are studying the geopolitics, the way it is evolving across the globe today, if you are a student of geopolitics or you've been studying how history has shown path in the past, refer to pre-World War I, pre-World War II, you will find that, all the sweet talk which happens in front of the intent of the international relations changes and becomes sour when the competition becomes intense. So I'm referring to this competition through which the world is going through now. There were some nations which were way ahead of the others have caught on now, and the competition has become hot. It has become intense. That is why you find that, the intent and the expression is opening up. So you can see today, we don't have to blame a particular individual that he is, not been able to hide the intent of a particular nation. It's going to happen more and more across the globe now as the competition heats up. You find the expression will open up, the sweet talk will go away, and you will be able to see the intent of various nations across the globe. So this is one important point I wanted to make. Now, why I spoke of this is very, very important from another issue, is that, today, the world is going through a flux, and those who are in the military here, we only talk of military part of the warfare. But I have been always saying that the world is constantly going through some or the other sort of competition or a war, which may not be pure military in nature, however it is happening. Now, if you look at the viewfoil, today the world is going through an economic competition, information competition. That means there is a hoard to grab information, because information is the future gold, is the future oil. So everybody is wanting to harness greater information, and the information gives you access to very many things which are going to emerge hereinafter. And any time anyone sitting here, I want to say that you go to ChatGPT or ChatGPT 5, you ask a question, you throw some knowledge, you're actually empowering somebody else to use this against you tomorrow. So that's an important point which I'm trying to make here. Technology rivalry is another thing which is now becoming intense. Geography, geopolitics, demographies, which we wanted to use as an advantage, it will be, played against us only. And there is a whole lot of data which will be played against cultures, societies, to form opinion. And this opinion will then in turn will be utilized as an advantage in this competition which is going on. So with this background, some important aspects which I thought I must write here, then I will take you to the realm of technology and how is that competition shaping up in the world. So there's a recalibration of the world which is taking place. There was a globalization happening, there is a deglobalization which is happening now. Now, global markets are get more sales, buy less. So the whole scene is changing now. Control others' growth. Somebody is trying to control your growth. Nations with less human resources, less buyers are the ones who are shrinking. Nations with greater growth rate are under challenge. So you're growing economically, you're becoming a power. You're a challenge to somebody else. You're occupying a space which was earlier being occupied by somebody else. So there is a challenge. Smaller nations, especially in Southeast Asia, are compromising sovereignty to gain political mileage and act as brokers of power. This is what is happening in our neighborhood now. So somebody goes to Saudi Arabia to broker power. Now this is going to increase as the time goes by. So there are various scenarios which are emerging, and it has implications on the way we are wanting to grow. And I don't want to touch upon all these aspects because they are a subject by itself. But what is more important is that end result of all this competition is, do not allow somebody you don't want to grow or charter the path in which he wants to. Now, this is the lead I want to take from here, and what Jan Leke said about Atmanirbharta is that you will face intense regime of denial of technology. This will keep happening as we go by. In the previous session also, speaker spoke of this, the denial of technology which will take place. So primarily it is emerging from this competition stage that somebody is trying to deny you the advantage which you may gain by that technology. So as the competition grows, you will find denial will become more and more, more and more intense. Now, I just want to touch upon one more aspect here before we get on to the actual subject of the day per se. Now, we've been having Stone Age, Space Age and various ages. Today, we are in the intelligence age. If anybody does not agree with that, he needs to do greater study in this and realize that the West is wanting to now jump from this intelligence age to super intelligence age, which is also known as symbiosis age. So it's very interesting actually to learn that how people are looking at that in a decade from now, this super intelligence age is going to control very many things. So this is very, very relevant for a nation like us. Now, intelligence age we know has played a phenomenal impact on the way militaries have to, sort of build their capabilities. It has, made the battlefield absolutely transparent. We all spoke of that. Future wars, will be somewhere you'll have absolutely transparency. There'll be speed. And one more point which was said, General Upadhyaya said that in 6 months you'll be able to, sort of recreate technology or evolve technology. Here, it is much faster. So what is happening in the West today, in a period of 3 to 4 months, you find that technology has got outdated and replacements are being churning out. So the cycles have become much faster in this intelligence age. So if you look at the intelligence age, it's throwing out very many areas in which militaries have to evolve now. And if you don't do that, militaries will find them left far, far behind. So there is a serious challenge which is emerging because of this intelligence age. And we have a lot of catching up to do because the West is actually gone way ahead. They're looking at super intelligence age, where we need to do large amount of research work. So what I wanted to highlight here, which is the point what Jan Leke was also mentioning, is that Atmanirbharta does not mean that we look at something what West has created, try and copy that and say, okay, we have become Atmanirbhar. Well, we have not become Atmanirbhar, we have copied it. By the time we copy it, he's going to move few years ahead, and then you find you're again trying to shout Atmanirbharta and again copying it. So the point which is emerging or which people are trying to say is that, look, Atmanirbharta is not only catching up, but it's actually evolving your own path and not taking on the beaten path and going the same path, then you will always be runner-up. So it's very, very important that we look at Atmanirbharta as a de novo concept, as a concept which is purely Indian, and we talk of something which is our own, created by us. And let the others do the catching up, or let the others follow the path which we are going to beat around. So with this background, I just want to touch upon this aspect of Sudarshan Chakra which was being talked of, and the mythological Sudarshan Chakra. If you try to compare what the India is wanting to talk of, even the PM said on the 15th August from the Red Fort that we need to create our own Sudarshan Chakra. And Sudarshan Chakra, if you compare mythologically, what was it? So it was precise. It was swift. It was something which was very bright, radiant, which made everything invisible. So something which can be hidden, which is not visible. Something which was unstoppable. Nothing can surmount it. Something which was ethical. So that means what? That means in today's world, you don't want collateral damages to take place. So you want ethics to be there and something which is very precise. And in the end, something which goes with the strategic thought of your nation per se. So looking at the Sudarshan Chakra of today, what the Indian Defence Forces are envisaging, we're looking at weapon systems which are precise, which are stiffed, which are unstoppable, which bring in that sort of superiority in the battlefield that the adversary actually gets threatened with it. So that's another very important aspect which is there. And if you look at the wars of tomorrow, they will not be won by sheer force or numbers. They'll be actually won by exploitation of information technology, resilience, and the strategic vigilance. So now what is conceptually Sudarshan Chakra means? Now Sudarshan Chakra has various facets to it. So one of the facets is the all-seeing capability. That means absolute transparency of the adversary, of the environment. Now when I talk of all-seeing, it is not only the realm of military, it is in the realm of anything and everything. That means you should be able to see the intent, what I spoke of initially, the expression of the intent, what it means to us. You should be able to see what's happening in the economic domain, what's happening in the technological domain, what's happening in the cyber domain, what's happening in the other arenas which has implications on us. So it's an absolutely understanding the mind of the adversary. That is one part. So all seeing is not only military domain, but it's way beyond military domain. And to work further on this, the technologies which need to be exploited are space-based systems, unmanned aerial systems, fusion of sensors and AI to give us real-time information, early warning systems, predictive analysis to analyze and see for yourself what's coming in the future. So this is known as eye of the chakra or the vision of the chakra. The next is the mind of the chakra. Another interesting thing, what comes or what makes the mind of the chakra? So again, it's fusion of various technologies, which is AI-powered command and control systems. So fuse the information on a single platform, run predictive analysis, and the AI to predict various scenarios, give probability of those scenarios and tell you exactly what's coming. Now it's at all levels, so it is all pervasive. It tells you from the lowest to the highest level what's coming. Another thing which has to be exploited is the quantum computing, which was spoken in the last session as well, that how to get quantum computing to the edge of the battle or effect implications of quantum computing to the edge of the battle so that it delivers. So that's another thing which is mind of the chakra. And then is the communication systems, which was again spoken of by General Upadhyay in the last session, that it's something which gives you throughput, data connectivity, the required connectivity at the right place, right time, and then the human machine teaming up. so that the mind works faster, smarter, and much more adaptive than the adversary can. Now, this is what in the past also has been spoken of when people spoke of OODA loop and things like that. It's something similar. The mind of the chakra is the one which is actually going to control this whole weapon system which we are envisaging. Next is the edge of the chakra, which is the precision strike we are talking of. So the edge of the chakra is made of many weapon platforms which are fully synchronized with the eye and the mind of the chakra. Again, a very interesting concept that the eye is going to see, the mind is going to take decision, and the edge is going to deliver. But the edge has to be so designed that, as I said initially, it is invincible. It cannot be beaten down by anybody. So obviously, you'll have to think of technologies which are self-sustaining in the battlefield, which do not get beaten by very many anti-technologies which can be applied on. So you have hypersonic missiles, glide vehicles, directed energy weapons, drone swarms, autonomous munitions, which do not get controlled by any guidance, any controls, no backward communication links, no last minute command and control and things like that. And of course, the electronic warfare, the cyber, the ECCM, all that applying. So the eyes of the chakra is the actual blade or the cutting edge of the chakra, and which is actually designed to be absolutely sharp, precise. So it's, as I said initially, it's not a weapon system of mass destruction. It is a system of precision. This is what the chakra concept is. Next is the multi-layered defense and resilience, the shield of the chakra. Now this is again very, very important, that if you do not have the shield, that means whole lot of technologies have to be created which are going to guard this chakra which we are trying to create. So this is an integrated system which will work in every domain, be it physical, be it electronic spectrum, be it the various vectors we are going to apply. In all these dimensions, this multi-layered defense system is going to play its role. So it's an integrated air and missile defense, counter swarm and anti-drone technologies, cyber resilience, the self-healing networks, and the networks which have resilience to withstand constant attacks in the battlefield. The supply chain, the sovereignty of those and resilience of those to continue. So the chakra's shield is nothing but ensuring that it does not get broken down, or the chakra doesn't get compromised under counter environment. Now going ahead, we have the wisdom of the chakra, which is the strategic decision making or the hub of the chakra. Now this is something which is very interesting to know, that the true power comes from strategic wisdom. This is what Jan Leke touched upon. And Atmanirbharta is one subset of this true wisdom which we have learned over the years. So the strategic wisdom has to play over the chakra. Now how do we do that? That means it has to have enmeshing of complete the doctrinal thinking, the clarity and the political leadership has to be fully meshed into it. It has to be ethical and responsible. That's another important aspect of this. And another important thing which is crucial here is that there has to be full civil military industry partnership in creating this. Now this is what we have touched upon in the previous session. General AK touched upon this, DRDO touched upon this. So we have to move ahead from where we are, and we have to actually create industry hubs where everybody is fused. That means you create a manufacturing hub where the user, that is the services, the mind, that is R&D sitting, and there's a manufacturer sitting. Unless we don't fuse and bring all three together on this single platform, and there is an agency which is funding it, then only we will have the requisite results coming. Now this is very pertinent point for delivery of this chakra, because if you look at the West, whom we always want to copy and say, we are trying to create some technologies which West has already created. Look at very many models in which they are working, and you'll realize that they have industrial hubs which are more or less working on these kind of a model. So it's very interesting. Look at the growth of China, how militarily China has grown so fast. And you go back 15 to 20 years, you realize when USSR was breaking away, there were very many scientists who were running away. China picked up large number of them, adopted them. They have transformed China to where it is now. So see, it has happened only because there was an R&D mind sitting along with the user and the industry, which was fused together, and they delivered. We have a fantastic model in our country of ISRO. You look at ISRO's model. Why is ISRO doing so well? You drill down and realize that ISRO is doing well because ISRO has, firstly, control from the top. The apex body controls ISRO. Second, ISRO has, complete, I would say, freedom to work the way they want to work. Now, had ISRO been following DPP, possibly we would have been miles away from where we are today. So we need to learn that and sort of take that on from here. And of course, another point which is there for wisdom of Chakra is geopolitical leverage. That is, responsible global security provider. That's the message which India has to give. So it's a message which any responsible nation has to give. That's how the hub of the Chakra or the wisdom of the Chakra is, that it should become a guiding force that directs as to how this nation will work. So it's a fantastic concept actually. And going forward, I just wanted to show a view foil that why do we want to talk of this Chakra? It's very important that, the coming age, which is intelligence and super intelligence age, will see competition across the complete spectrum amongst the nations. So if we are beaten in economic domain, if we are beaten in cyber technological domain, and if we are presuming that we are beaten in technological domain or militarily we are going to win, we are sadly mistaken. They are the precursors today. If you are not an economic might, you can't go ahead in this competition. If you are not a technological might, you will not be able to go ahead in this competition. So the adversary will never take you to military stage of this competition because he's already beaten you in very many and he's happy with those. He will make you stay stagnant in these stages. So that's why I showed those viewfoil earlier that all these economic, technological and other domains, we will have to come out of this spin-off and be a winner in this competition. Then only we will be the ones who will dictate that, okay, if you want, we can come to the stage of a military conflict. Because then the adversary will be scared of you that, all right, he's not been able to beat you in any of these. So you are a force to reckon with. So it's very important that, we dissect this concept of Atmanirbharta in all these arenas. And as I said initially, military conflict is the final stage of this Atmanirbharta, which we want to evolve. It's the final stage. You will only go to that stage if you have been able to, sort of win the competition in the rest of them. So it's very important that, we should be a nation which is powerful enough that the enemy dares to fight with. This is what Chanakya said many years, that be so much powerful that the enemy dares to fight with you. So with that, I finish. If there are any questions, we'll take it out
we'll take
towards
it later.
the end.
We'll take
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, General Anand.